Red Bull Ring in the wet. GTCA SF19 race. Joined here with co-host Ward.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. This race was interesting. What do you think, Ward?
It was very interesting, and uh, I got to work some aggression out on the tires and cars. So
yeah, there was some incidences, much expected, but sadly enough, it wasn't expected on the way it happened. Let's say that.
well, that's racing, and
Yes.
and as much as we can say that, it's easy to become emotional, and I did, and I sincerely apologize to Archer for it. So
Yeah, it's frustrations, man. I've been in that exact situation, and it's you can get the best of you, but
yeah, and he didn't deserve the wrath. He's a great guy, and he's a good racer, and I was a little out of sorts for 2 laps, and then finally got sorted out with the car, and then had a few more laps by myself just to kind of work things out in my head. So
yeah,
after that point, I was fine.
yeah, just to take a deep breath and
Yep, and race.
yeah, regroup and race. Of
Yep.
course, you had a couple opportunities to take a deep breath, so
Yep.
which we
Yes,
will
I did.
we will see momentarily. Yeah, it was an eventful race. There was a lot of close racing. A lot of interesting things happened, especially in qualifying. We can start there. As you can see on the screen that I have currently here, that is the back of the field, and you'll notice one individual that is sitting there dead last. That would be Squints. Obviously, points leader in the series. Favorite to win, I guess. You could
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just
He
go ahead and say it.
had the fastest times in practice all the time. So
Yeah, he definitely did. He's very fast and very smooth with these cars. Did not take him long at all to get adapted to the wet. After he said, "No, I don't. We're not gonna. We can't. You can't do the wet." When we were developing said series, he was not for it. And then after he raced it for a little while, he it took the bull by the horns. Let's say
yeah,
that.
yes, he did. Here at the Red Bull Ring.
Yep. It was interesting qualifying. Uh, well, we can start with qualifying. As you can see, I am on the pole. We had Ward started second. Leathermeat was third. Archer fourth. Tago fifth. Jay was starting sixth. Toothless was seventh. Jax was eighth. Ninth was Humphrey. 10th was Alpha Traffic. And Squints being last. Squints had himself a little hiccup with the internet about 2-3 laps in. Man, I should say no more, about like 2 minutes into qualifying.
Yeah.
He glitched out quite bad and dropped everything. And us being the group that we are, we let him obviously join into the race. We just started him at the back of the field.
Yeah, and that's the way we always do it anyway. It's kind of I don't know if it's a written rule or an unspoken rule, but anytime you glitch out during qualifying, you're always allowed to rejoin the room and come back, but the only qualification is you go to the back of the pack.
Yeah, it's more of a gentleman's rule than anything, but yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to be fair because we're all here just having fun, anyways.
Exactly.
So with that being said, there's your starting lineup. I was I did this the other week too. I came out the out lap and then banged a heater and parked it in the pits. I was not going to get any faster than the time I did, and God, I don't remember what the time was, but it was
a low 25.
Yeah, it was the fastest I've ever been. Believe it or not, I was very surprised at that, and I says, well, we're not going to beat that time, and where the chips fall, I let them fall where they may, because I'm not going to push it again anymore to get faster. If I start on a pole, yay me, and I did.
I'm pretty sure I got like a 25.6 or 7 in the qualification. You were an easy 2 to 3 tenths quicker than I.
Yeah, you were right there, and like I said, with Squints's little in the glitch area there, I was really expecting him to beat my time by easy couple tenths. I mean, I was low, like I said, I think it was a 3, I think like a 27.3 or something like that, and
Yeah,
I expected to be beaten by at least 2 tenths from his on his qualifying time, but he didn't get a chance to lay a qualifying time down, so back in the
yeah,
pack he goes.
yeah. Unfortunate.
Yes, unfortunately. So saying that, let's get this dog and pony show on the road and watch all
All
the
right,
action at the Red Bull Ring.
let's go.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Go. And we're off. And I thought this was tire smoke until I remembered it was wet.
Yeah,
It's
I've
just a
not.
water spray.
Nobody started yet on my side.
Uh-oh.
Just now they started.
Okay, we're a couple seconds behind.
Yeah.
Or you're a couple seconds behind me.
Yeah. I'll bump up.
And already in turn 2, by the time we get to turn 2, Squints is already up into 8th place. Oh, he got a little spun out there with Humphrey got into him. And the exit of turn 2 is a very tricky turn. So far it's been pretty clean. A little bit of close racing, some bumping.
Yeah, and with the wet, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes to get spread out, because you're limited on traction, so it's hard to really get a good bite out of the corner and get away from people.
Yeah. And I had fortunate enough to just kind of motor on out, which is surprising. I was watching the gap grow, and I couldn't believe how far ahead I was as we're rounding the final turn here, going down to complete lap 1.
Yeah.
With you in second place and Tango in third, fighting with Archer and your brother Denny. Oh, actually, Denny's a little farther back. My apologies. It was you, Tango, and Tango went off course a little bit there. Got passed by both of you guys. Now he's battling with Denny to get into 5th, and Denny makes the pass. So it was you and so many battles going on.
Yeah. It's I was struggling with the car, and I should have just got out of the way. Archer probably wasn't expecting me to brake that hard and going into turn 1 that second time.
Yeah.
And it got into me again there, so it just compounded things for me and him. And anyway, I luckily got around these corners, even though it was just not wanting to go around a corner. And
yeah, a lot of slipping and sliding from everybody.
Yeah, and then finally got into the pits and had a catastrophe there also.
Yep. So rounding around for you to you didn't go into the pits on lap 2. And Archer, you guys were playing. Not in a good way, right? And Squints is all the way up to 5th place in lap 3. I talk about just moving up. This guy. Just motoring on around the field, making it happen.
Yeah.
Battle with Tango, which is a pretty good racer, so we're not going to have any confrontations here.
Yeah, and here he is in 5th place at the start of lap 3.
Yep. Got a battle with Jay and your brother, Toothless.
Yeah. That's what I was noticing. I was looking at who went out? Was that Jay that spun? Who spun? on turn 2 or 3, whatever you want to call it, somebody went back there.
Oh, it was Leather.
Ah.
Yeah, he looped it around. That's why he went down.
Yeah.
Because I know he was, he obviously qualified pretty decent. He was doing pretty good in practice, which is weird to see him, you know, must have obviously gotten a little bit of a tussle with somebody and went off course. As you can see, he's pretty far behind currently.
Yeah, and unfortunate. Well, I keep wanting to jump to things I know that happen later.
we got let it unfold, man. Everybody's watching.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's Ward into the pits on lap 3
for the first time.
Shh! Come on, don't be a spoiler alert. Ward makes 2 pit stops. Leather meets into pits also.
Yeah.
He's got front end damage too, so he had left front and wing damage. Oh, let's watch. Ward gets out of the pits, and let's notice what happened to poor Ward as he exits the pits. Sorry, buddy, I had to tell you.
Oh,
it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
The damage on the rear end.
You know, and if I hadn't seen the screen come up that tells you how long the repair is going to take,
yeah,
I would have thought, well, I just read something wrong or did something wrong and made it, you know. But no, I saw that. I selected my tire. I went ahead and selected tires. I selected no fuel on that little screen. The only way that screen comes up is if you go through those.
Mm-hmm.
And it said 3 seconds for repair. So I waited, got done with tires, car come down, and it was taking fuel. I'm telling you, it was making the sound. The fuel box had come up, and I hit X again, and it left the pits without repairing.
Yep.
And all that was so frustrating.
I bet.
And I thought I'll be lucky to get, 7th, 8th. I'll just have to, and I told myself I'll just have to go around again.
Yep.
Get the repair done, and shoot for the best and do what I can do.
And here's Ward making his
second pit stop
in 2 laps.
Totally unnecessary pit stop. That
might I add, right?
I had to take.
Yep. And now you can see the vein pop out of the forehead and the steam blowing out the ears.
Yeah, that's not water mist coming off the tires.
Steam blowing out the helmet. Oh man. But and like I said, I apologize to Archer. I was mad about that incident, but I wasn't like tore up about it. But man, when that happened to me in the pits, that tore me up. Yeah. Now your focus went to trying to maintain a race, to trying to catch up and salvage what's left of the day.
Yeah, because at this point I was over a minute behind.
Yeah. Yeah, you were way back.
And if you'd have told me I'd have finished in the top 5, at this point I said, you're crazy.
Yeah, you watch your mind.
Yeah.
But on a side note, it's lap 6 and Squints is second place.
Yep. And doing just fine.
Doing just fine. Just fine. As we ride along here with Archer and watch Squints just blow away in the distance. Just wave goodbye to him, as many have in this race.
Yeah. And looks like Jay is doing well at 5th place.
Yes, he is.
His field is starting to spread out a little bit. You got 7th and 8th really close. Jackson and Denny are close to each other. And Alpha's got a pretty good gap back. Then there's Leather Meat. I'm not sure of his gap between Alpha. Yeah, it's a pretty good gap between them two. And then me.
And then there's Ward. Yeah, we had a good battle going here between Denny and Jax. These two were
Yeah.
battling it out for a while.
Boy, I'm telling you right now, if Jax's ability behind the wheel was on par with his ability to do deliveries, we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he can definitely do some pretty nice stuff.
Oh man, and I can tell little changes and little differences here and there. He's starting to figure things out behind the wheel too.
Yeah,
so.
it's a steep learning curve, and
Oh, it is.
Ooh, get a little wide there in turn 2. Excuse me, turn 3. But you know, you got to take into consideration too that A, you're learning the wheel, and B, you're racing in the rain.
Yes.
So it's a whole nother animal. It's almost like driving on dirt, but not that bad. You know,
right.
down the lines of playing the game itself.
Yeah.
Grip level is a lot lower, but it wasn't as bad as I think people thought it would be or made it out to be.
Right.
From my personal experience.
Yeah, it was the low speed acceleration out of corners. That's where you had trouble. The rest of it wasn't, you know. And if you just managed your throttle control pretty good, that wasn't bad either. So it's just a matter of not hammering the car and making the tires spin, because then you'd have no choice but to pit and get tires at some point.
Exactly. Exactly. What do we got going back up in the front of the field here? I'm still holding the lead down after 8 laps, which is surprising, yet rewarding.
Yep. Yep. You did good. You had good qualifier. You had a good race.
I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting podium, 3rd, maybe 4th, but I wasn't expecting to lead most of the races. Well, because we all know good old Squints. The guy's an animal. What can I say? Smooth, fast, and makes it happen.
Yeah, and he's very, very consistent.
Yes. If you look at the lap times that I was getting here, I had a pretty good amount of 27s, and I started banging a bunch of 26s here in the next stretch. I think I did like 5 or 6 laps in a row that were within a half a second of each other, all 26s, which is good. Those are good numbers.
Yeah.
And then you go here and look at Squints' numbers, and he's been 26s and dipped to 25. And
yeah, I got two laps in a row of 25.
Yep.
And then 26. The rest of them were 26s, except for lap 1, 2, and 3, which he was dealing with traffic there.
Correct. And now that he's got clean air, he's able to make up ground. And I'm watching the gap, which is a huge problem that I have. I drive with the rearview mirror when someone gets behind me, and just with this series, I don't know why, but I drive looking in a rearview mirror and I pay attention to the times, not the sector times, but the gap.
Right.
And it's difficult to pay attention to your lines when you're doing that, so you make mistakes. But he was gaining roughly half a second a lap on me. Yeah. So I'm trying to math this out in my head, and I don't math too well without, taking my shoes off. So I'm trying to figure out how many laps it's going to be before he catches me. And I was pretty close. I said this is going to be about lap 18. He's going to give 15 to 18. He's going to catch me. So.
Yeah. And that's if you don't mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't mess up. Yeah, that was the other factor too.
Well, I have a question for you about your car. Did you ever think at any point while practicing that, or even during the race, that the tires actually kind of came in almost like they seasoned and came in after so many laps?
Yes. I would probably say right around this time they started getting pretty consistent. When I was practicing, I was getting trying to figure out how to get the red not to show as fast.
Right.
Not to get him to wear as much. And a lot of it's to do with the foot, and I messed around a little bit with the setup, with the differential and camber, toe, things of that nature to try and get it to not wear as much. And I got it pretty good. I think I did. And they lasted, obviously, as you know, we'll see how long they lasted, but there was a sweet spot where they started to come in, and it was right around this time, I think, right around 7, 8, 9 laps, right in that area.
Let's see. Tango has taken over third spot from Archer, and then the two of them, along with Jay, are all bunched up here. And somehow Tango has gotten a penalty, and now he just scrubbed it off.
Yeah, he's all the way back in 5th place here.
3rd to 5th, the penalty looks like.
Yeah.
I didn't see it clearly enough to know what happened there.
Yeah, neither did I. I had him up here just watching him and didn't see what happened.
The Archers jump back into 3rd, and Jay's following. So those three are having a pretty good battle.
Yeah, Jay a little wide there in turn 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
How about 4 or 5? No, it's Jesus. lap or turn 3. Excuse me, turn 3.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how close.
Seems to be creeping closer to Humphrey there. And Denny's just kind of a lone ranger.
Yep, out there by himself. I'll tell you who's out there by themselves. Squints is, again, slowly reeling me in, and there's just a giant gap. He's exiting turn 1 right now, and 3rd place is just now getting on the front straightaway. That's quite the gap after 10 laps, 11 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back further in the pack here. Humphrey's out there driving by himself. That's the downside sometimes when we just get so spread out.
Yeah.
That you spend 40 minutes just driving by yourself.
Yes, you do.
And I wish that we had a little bit closer to battles, but sometimes the battles, I guess, are not necessarily wheel to wheel, but as you're trying to keep the person behind you or try to catch the person in front of you. So it's a different type of battle.
Yeah.
Now, you've managed to work your way up to 10th.
Yeah, and this is where that's why I was asking the tire question. Some of these laps here are where I start hitting a lot more 25s. I know later in the race I'm hitting a lot of 25s and low 26s. And
yeah. Yeah, you're definitely on a mission, man. Banging low 26s and 25s for multiple laps. Very consistent.
Yeah, I was pretty focused at this point.
I bet. And after seeing the performance, lap time wise, there's no doubt in my mind you would have been right there with Squints and or in the lead for that matter.
Right. We could have had a pretty good three-way battle up front.
Yeah.
Because the three of us racing, as opposed to two people, easy for one to get out in front and check out, whereas there's three of us, we might, when we're racing each other, it might cause the extra fast person to slow down a little, and the three might be able to stay together a little better.
Yeah, yeah.
But you never know. I mean,
Right.
that's easy. That's easy to say, but you know.
Yeah. Well, 2020 is always, or hindsight's always 2020. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I look back at lap. Was it 18? 20? Wow. I look back at that, and there's a real good hindsight right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that little oops, but
Well,
I mean, it was inevitable.
that, Archer and Tango and Jay have spread out a little bit.
Yeah. Tango got himself back into fourth.
Yep.
Jay does really good for using the sticks.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean? Especially these cars, they're so twitchy. Even on the wet, it just amplified even more.
Oh yeah. It would be really difficult to not spin coming out of corners using sticks.
Yep.
And here we are, lap 15, and Squinch is pretty much there.
Yep. He has caught right up to the cone. And I knew what he was doing. Just letting me know he was there, putting the pressure on me.
There's no pressure. What pressure?
Yeah, okay. I was fortunate. I mean, I look at lap 13. I hit my fastest lap. It was a 25.7, and it's right about when he got on my rear bumper, or excuse me, gearbox. These don't have bumpers.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I said to myself, I said, you know what I should do? I should get a towel and put it over the rearview mirror, right over the top part of the TV screen, or the monitor, so I can't see the rearview mirror. Because, I mean, I drive with the radar, so I know when someone's close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can always glance down and look at that, but I keep looking up at that thing like, how close is he? How close is he? How close is he? That's so distracting. But I managed to stay focused, I guess. It's weird. I was driving my ass off, ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, doing what I can to keep ahead of somebody you know is at least a second a lap faster than you is just, it's stressful. It's a fun stress though.
Well, you got a 25.9 that last lap.
I did. Squint's got purple sector 1. On lap 16, got a half a tank of fuel left in the tires. I got a little bit of wear, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And I know in his mind, he's like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you.
Yeah, he's just right there saying, okay, don't make a mistake. Would you mind if you do?
Oh, I know. Like I said to him after a race, man, I was hoping he made a mistake. I mean no bad ill. It's just I just wanted to I wanted to stay where I was. Stop pushing me. Stop pressuring me.
Archer and Tango are pretty close to each other again. Looking.
Who's in the pits?
Leather meat.
Oh.
He's got some front end repair damage, evidently. Thinking he's been in here for a bit.
Yeah.
May be wrong.
Must be some crazy damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, lot of curbing there, Tango. As much as you think you can straddle that thing, you gotta hit it just right to straddle that sausage curb.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's still in the pits.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom. I mean, he's still sitting in his car, so I mean, I would assume he doesn't have to go to the bathroom, but...
Yeah. Here catching Denny, and
yes, you
he
are.
was kind enough to slide over to the side and let me by.
Oh, because he knows. You'll throw mashed potatoes at him at Christmas dinner again.
Exactly.
It's for not letting me buy a Red Bull ring. Face full of taters. Yeah, all the way up to 7th. Poor Humphrey just out there all by himself.
Yeah.
40 minutes, all alone. Just you, your thoughts, and a roar of an engine.
Exactly.
And a lot of rain. Jay seems to have lost that pack between Archer and Tango.
Yeah. Noticed that. And Humphrey's not too far from him.
Mm-hmm. About 26 minutes into the race, 18 laps. About two-thirds, almost two-thirds of the way in.
I'm looking back and forth between Archer and Tango. Their rear tires, I can't tell any difference in, but Tango's got just a hair more usage on the fronts than Archer. And Archer's used just a little bit more gas than Tango has.
Yeah. Oh, Tango all over Archer's rear. Oh no! Oh,
they both.
Oh, gotta save it. That was pretty cool.
That was a dual spin and a dual save right
Yep.
there.
Wow, that's pretty funny that they both got a little squirrely coming out of the corner and lost no ground to each other.
What I'd like to know is, did Tango see the opening and give it too much, or was he just giving it too much anyway?
Right?
I can hear Archer right now going, "Go away, Tango. Go away."
Just leave me alone. I wanna race by myself.
Got a podium here. Leave me alone.
I know, right? You fight for a podium, man. It's pretty good when it happens.
Yeah.
Now we're back up here to the lead, the lead pack. Myself and Squints, who was just hanging out in the back. And he said patient. He was, being patient. He said he was giving everything he had to keep up with me, but I don't know. I don't know. The words of encouragement are muchly appreciated.
Well, in all honesty, though, this kind of condition on this track is not impossible to pass on.
No,
but
there's rules.
These cars are so closely matched in the straightaways.
Yeah.
And then you add the rain and the lack of traction and, almost 20 laps on tires. It's going to be tough to come out of a corner with an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard to get that. I mean, that millisecond of planting the throttle down. Either you're going to lose it, or you're either going to lose traction, or you're going to lose time.
Yeah.
So you got to be dead nuts pretty much every single lap, which is difficult. Because every lap conditions are changing, and it's not necessarily the weather-wise, because the weather's the same through the whole race, but your tires, the fuel load, car's getting lighter, so rear end's getting a little bit more slipperier, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, Squint's using the overtake button.
Yeah, I use mine a little bit here and there.
At this point in the race, I've got a little less than about 2/3 left.
Yeah.
I didn't use that much. I was using enough on lap 1, and then I was using it to try and get away from Squints when he got up to me.
Yeah.
But it didn't help. Because again, like I said, you apply so much pressure to the overtake, you don't hit that right, you bake the back tires and you lose traction, and it's all for naught. You're just wasting gas and wasting the overtake.
Yeah. Now, see, I did use it here a little bit. Archer came out of the pits. I came right behind me with fresh tires.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though mine were in really good shape at this point, I didn't want to take any chances. I wanted to put a gap between me and him and not give him a chance to get in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's a risk, man. You just start thinking that way and start driving that way, that's a risk.
Yeah, yeah. It's another element of probability for the oops.
Yeah, exactly. Squeeze the trigger just a little too much coming out of corner sometimes.
Yep.
Get that way.
Like, oh man, there goes that. Did all that work and now it's gone. But you've managed to work yourself all the way up to 6th place. On lap 21.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep. I was having some good lap times, I think.
Yeah. You're pretty much 25s and low 26s.
Yeah. Another 25 there.
Yep. And there's Humphrey, still by himself.
And if I'm not mistaken, I set another fast lap time in here somewhere, but I'm not for sure on that.
No, actually, Humphrey's right behind Tango right now.
Yeah. Jay's got it 3. We missed something there because I know Archer pitted.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Tango was in a solid 3rd place at that point. I didn't think Jay was that close to him, but I don't know, something must have happened.
Yeah, maybe bobbled a little bit.
Mm-hmm. This is where I wish we were actually doing a live stream. We could go do a replay and go back and take a look.
Oh yeah, I missed the.
We missed the pass.
I missed the pass. It happened. It happened on to lap 22. And for those that are watching, what had happened was I decided to take another line going through this section corners here, like an idiot. I took this corner the same way as I always do because it works for me. And this one I decided to take a little wide, and I took it too wide. Lost a little traction, as you can see I just did there. The same thing. Because now I'm pushing the shit out of the car, trying to... No, get away, don't get away. You get back here, Squints. Don't you leave me here. And and I got a little sideways, and he just right on motored by, and I went into 2nd place. And I was like, oh. I mean, it's like, I think maybe 8 minutes left of the race at this point.
Yeah.
7 minutes left, somewhere around there. And I just accepted fate. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. It was a matter. It wasn't if, it was when. And you just bided his time and waited for that one valuable oopsie. And there you go.
Yeah.
Of course, he done chewed up most of his overtake.
Oh, wow. He really has.
Yeah. And now they're still in the pits.
Huh. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
In the race, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed him towards the back, but I didn't notice him still in the pits.
And we're doing good here in the passing the lap traffic, getting past Denny and Squints got past him real quick, but I had to go a couple extra corners, and Denny gave me some room, which is cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But by that point, it was, you know, damage done. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's already, you know, I think right around here is like 2.5 seconds ahead of me.
And here we are, lap 24. I'm in 5th. And I just went around turn 3, and it had a purple sector, that first sector.
Yep.
And trying to chase down Tango. Get 4th. And he just had a bad corner is how I got him. I don't know that I would have got him if he hadn't have.
That's what it boiled down to in the end, and I think Squint said it. We're talking in one of the chats that he who has the least amount of mistakes is gonna, you know, is obviously gonna come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't make any mistakes, so he came out on top. I made 2 mistakes. The one where he passed me, and I made another one on like lap 2 or lap 3.
Yeah.
Which didn't affect too much. I mean, it did, but it didn't. I was, I think, 8 or 9 seconds ahead of second place, and the bobble I made, it cost me like 2 or 3 seconds. It was like there's a 6 or 7 second gap at that once it settled out. So that kind of hurt me a little bit, but at any rate. I got you and Tango. You're slowly catching them.
Yeah.
Jay's not too far ahead of Tango.
Turn 1's where he gets a little loose on this lap, this next coming lap, I think. I mean, my tires weren't perfect, but they were in better shape than those guys at this point. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that I did go ahead and take tires that first pit stop.
Yeah, I was going to say you have 2 laps less tires.
Exactly.
And you're pretty good on your tires anyways and not beating the snot out of them, so.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but Tango's he's gotten pretty good at not doing that too, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Last corner. I really thought when I come around there that I was going to get a penalty there.
Yeah, you were a little wide.
Yeah.
I did it a couple times and didn't get a penalty. I was surprised. I'm like, I come out of the corner, I'm like, oh, that's too wide. There's a penalty. Nothing. Like, all right, cool, thanks.
that wasn't the one. I thought that was going to be the lap that he did that, but it wasn't.
I think I must have slipped the stewards enough money where I didn't get penalties.
Yeah.
Walk into the trailer before the race. Here's some money. Here's some gift cards to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Actually, I think if I gave them gift cards to Starbucks, they probably would have given me extra penalties. I'm in no way, shape, or form endorsing Starbucks at this point.
Yeah.
I'd say Tim Hortons, but you guys down in the southern end don't get the Tim Hortons.
I've heard of them, but I'm not a coffee drinker, so you know.
Yeah, that's a Canadian thing. We got them here in Western New York, but they came over the border, man. There was no stopping them. they're on every corner like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Look at you, the last corner, right on his gearbox.
Yep. Trying hard, and I kind of blow it there. He gets away from me, but I get. And here, I hope Alpha is not mad. I thought I could get shut down and not get into him there, and I slammed him, and then Tango got loose, and I was able to get momentum and get around him here.
Well, you got a little stroke of luck there, even with the tap, and yep, there you go.
Yep.
Right on by him. That's for 4th place. God, that's a tricky corner to pass on.
Yes, it is. Oh,
So much can go wrong.
Yeah, I was nervous, let me tell you.
Rightfully so, after all the fun you've been through for the day.
And I was really trying to chase down Jay at this point, but I knew my chances were limited.
You were running out of time. Yep. Moral of the story.
Yep.
Because I think this is about the last lap right here, 27.
Yep, I think it is.
And Jay's been just battling around in a third, fourth, fifth, and sixth all race, and stuff fell right where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really close to him. Yeah. I didn't realize you were that close to him.
Oh yeah. If I'd have had a good section there on that and come around that last corner a little bit better, I could have got a run on him. But the way it came around, there was no way. You know.
Yeah, you ran out of time. You had one more lap, you would have got him.
Yeah, see, I might have.
Myself and Squints were still on the last. We're on the final lap now, but because of time-wise, you guys went across the start-finish line, and your race is done.
Yeah. There's Jax coming around. Want to finish? Little wiggle.
Yep. Squints catch the win. Good run for him from dead last.
Yep.
No glitches, and I know he was crossing all of his toes, and he could have been crossing his toes or his fingers. He wouldn't have done that well. I was hoping maybe he crossed his eyes. I don't know, but he did. he was crossing something, man. He did no internet issues, which is awesome, and he got himself a pretty stout win. It was a good race.
Yeah.
I came in second. Jay with a solid third place. Good run for him. And you, coming all the way from your misfortune to finish fourth, that's a good run, man. That's a good run.
Yeah.
I mean, you were more than a minute behind, so that was a good comeback.
Yeah.
Then Tango was fifth. Archer's finished sixth. Humphrey brought in seventh. Jax was eighth. Denny ninth. Alpha 10th, and Leather's still hanging out in the pits. He must have had enough. They never fixed his front end damage.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say he pulled in, didn't make any selections.
Yep.
But, I can remember seeing him on the track at the end, I thought, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. Yep.
That's that.
That is that. That was the dreaded Red Bull in the rain and the wet. And I got to tell you, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There was obviously some mishaps here and there, but I did expect to be worse because we've discussed this before with the people practicing and not practicing as much, and not used to driving the high horsepower, high downforce cars in the wet.
Right.
So I figured it would have been a little more carnage, but the carnage you saw was just a lot of slipping and sliding.
Well, we do have, I think we forget sometimes, take things for granted. We do have a good group of guys that are good racers. And, even if you look at Alpha, who is the newest one to come on board, I think that's right. I think he's the newest. That's racing anyway. He's the
correct.
Newest.
Yes.
You can tell each race he's just a little better and a little better. And he's come along, and he does well with these cars for somebody with, and I assume not much experience. I don't know how much experience he had before he joined us, but he's doing really well.
He is. He's learning, and he puts a lot of respect for the other drivers out there. Doesn't get in the way, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's this is his first series he's raced with us, and it's a huge learning curve if you're not used to running these, Formula One car, if you will.
Right.
They're it's a learning curve, man. It really is.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I think he's doing a great job. Like
Yeah, he
everybody, like you
is.
said, I think everybody's doing a great job. We're not giving as much credit as we should. I mean, because like I said, I expected to be. I shouldn't say expected. I was hoping it wasn't going to be, and it wasn't. A lot of carnage, and again, like I said, there wasn't. It was clean racing, and it was good wheel to wheel racing, and these guys are a good group of people we run with.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's these cars as twitchy as they can be, as fast as they can be, as hard braking as they are, which that's a lot to take in. Uh, they do stick pretty good. So that
Yeah,
for someone who's not got a lot of experience, that's a good thing for them. You help them along if they need it. You give them a good tune to work with, and they can get out and run some halfway decent times with that if they're just consistent and careful.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so that's the benefit to these cars is they have good a lot of downforce, they stick.
yeah, yeah,
The downside to them is they're twitchy. They're precise. And you've got to be precise with them. And sometimes the rumble strips can upset them.
yeah, yeah. Um, they are very twitchy when it comes down to accidentally getting two tires in the grass.
Yep. Yep.
They lose that traction, man, and they're junk. It takes 6, 7 corners for you to get your grip level back, and
Yeah.
when you spin out, it's you got to be extra extra patient to try and
Right.
get your grip back. Try to get the car to go
Right.
forward. You can't just mat the throttle. As soon as you mat the throttle, she's doing loops again,
Yeah.
and it makes it even more frustrating. Then you
Yeah.
rage quit.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
hate these cars. I'm done with them. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go drink beer.
Well, next week we are going to be at Blue Moon Bay Infield A, which is going to
Yes.
be another interesting race, and it's the smaller version of the track, uh, and you're on the high speed section for a little bit, and then you're not.
Yeah. That's the 3.35 kilometers, 10 corners,
Yeah,
and it is you're down the
under
main
a minute.
straightaway, banging the first turn with a good amount of speed, and
Yeah,
it's a fast track. It really is.
yeah,
I
you're
think
under a minute per lap.
yeah 50 I think 56 seconds when we were setting this all up was the time,
Hmm.
55 56 seconds.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be
I think I already know of some people that have said they've gotten into 54s. So
that wouldn't surprise me.
yeah.
I think I'm talking to one of them right now.
Well, I don't. I was asked today or yesterday. I don't remember which. What my times were, and I'm like, well, I haven't gotten on. I mean, I was on like a month ago when we were setting
Mhm.
this up, or a month and a half, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I I just don't remember for sure. I know it was under a minute. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's going to be excuse me. It's going to be a fun, fast race, and there's not a lot of space to pass on this track.
Exactly.
You can catch it down out of the last turn to get down the front straightaway, around which would be the oval portion of turn 3, so it's a
Yeah.
tri-oval. You can catch that section down the front straightaway and entering into turn 1. Be honest with you, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
every place else is narrow and fast, and you get offline, you're just losing all sorts of time.
Right.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. Just like all the rest of the tracks and races have been so far to date, have been
Yeah.
fun, fast, and interesting. So we shall see.
All right.
Well, that concludes this evening's broadcast of the GTCA SF19 series, round 5 at Red Bull Ring, the moist Red Bull Ring. I had to do it. I
Yeah.
waited to the end to do it, so we're good. I said it. The track was moist. All right.
Yeah.
Till next week, y'all have a great time. Thanks for watching, and we will we'll catch you next week.